Okay, all right, we're going to learn today daily dose of Pasukim, Bitachon, of my good friend Yosh. All right, so it's written, Ani shachavti ve'ishina hakitzoti ki Hashem ismecheni. I laid down and slept, yet I awoke, for Hashem supports me. What does this mean? It's like Modani in the morning. We say Modani, we're ready to get up in the morning, saying thank you for waking me up, that I was able to start my day. And he gives the example of David HaMelech. David HaMelech had an ongoing war with his son Avshalom, who kept chasing him. And his advisor Achitophel saw that he was exhausted, and he advised that Avshalom's army would take advantage of him by attacking him at night, when he's going to be sleeping. David HaMelech will be sleeping, so we should go at night. But another advisor, Hushai HaHarki, replied that a seasoned warrior like David HaMelech would never stop his guard, and on the contrary, he said he's going to be waiting for an ambush. He's probably going to be up at night, paying attention to what's going on, and awaiting for reinforcements. Hold on one second here. Just put this on airplane mode. And as a result, as a result, he's going to be waiting for these reinforcements. And so Avshalom took Hushai's advice. He said, okay, he's probably going to be up at night, so let's go during the day and let's attack during the day. However, it was the opposite. Achitophel was right, and David HaMelech did in fact fall asleep at night. And he slept. And had Avshalom attacked during the nighttime, he would have won the war and attacked him. When Achitophel heard this, he was so bothered by this whole thing, he actually took his own life, because he couldn't believe that he would have won the war had he just done that he had the wrong plan, and that he had the right plan. If he would have done the plan, that he would have been able to defeat David HaMelech. And at this point, David HaMelech wrote of this inspiration, the doom for the situation. When they say that I laid down and slept, it meant that David HaMelech went to sleep with bitachon. He slept like a man that was in peace. A man that has absolutely no fear of anything that's going to happen. I could go to sleep. I could have this war, all these soldiers, kind of like what we're experiencing in Israel. I can have all these people surrounding the camp, ready to attack, but I'm going to go to sleep in peace. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, how do we sleep at night? When we go to sleep, do we toss and turn and we're stressing and we're thinking of the day and what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next week? Or are we going to bed like David HaMelech, who had to deal with thousands of people planning an attack? He's responsible for an army of people, and yet he's able to go to sleep in peace. So the pasuk says, and I got up in the morning. When it says I got up in the morning, it's our awakening. It's our awakening that shows our bitachon, just as our sleeping does. And David HaMelech did not shoot up out of bed in a panic. Even when he woke up, they say you should wake up like a lion, but like a lion, strong. You shouldn't wake up in panic. Why? Because, again, it's written in the pasuk, for Hashem supports me. So you should know that when you wake up, you should also wake up. And that's what happened. He actually woke up and took his time. He didn't get up in the morning, oh my God, where are they? What's going on? Sometimes, personally, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll look at my phone, I'll be like, okay, what's going on with my crypto account? What's going on with my bank account? What's going on with my emails? Or who tried to reach me? What's going on with my situation? And I wake up, and the first thing I'm doing is panicking or freaking out or trying to follow up about the events that are going to happen in the day. No, it's the opposite. You should wake up and be hagua, should be relaxed and say, Hashem's got this, I don't have to worry. Hashem's going to take care of us while we lie defenseless in our beds. Because David had this trust, he was able to disrupt the enemy's plan and led Avshalom to follow Hushai HaHarki's advice. So with these words of the pasuk, David HaMelech is sharing a behind the scenes clip with us. Is that he woke up calmly, And he used those words, Hashem supported me. There's a pasuk that says, I fear not the myriads of people deployed against me all around. It all makes sense. If he can rely on Hashem to protect him while he sleeps and while his enemies surround him, then definitely Hashem is going to protect him against an attack during the day. It's normal. And its conclusion, salvation is Hashem's upon your people, is your blessing. We read that our Rashi adds a powerful layer of understanding to these words. It is upon God to save his servants and his nations. That implies that because we are Hashem's servants and we rely on him, it's an obligation for Hashem to serve us, to take care of us. You know how they say that if back in the day they used to have servants, and it was the obligation of the master to take care of his servant and protect the servant. It's the same thing with Hashem. We are servants of Hashem, and Hashem has this obligation towards us. And sometimes we feel like, oh man, we're serving Hashem. We're serving. We're constantly praying and asking and please and why not and thank you. Thank God we're the servants because we have this protection. So so sometimes when things don't go well, we have to thank Hashem for being the servant and remind ourselves that in return we have his protection. The nature of Hashem's salvation is often hidden from us because it protects us from dangers we might not even know are there. For example, the German immune system that fought off the virus that we had to ensure that we wouldn't get sick. Or the drunk driver who turned off the highway one exit early so that he doesn't get into an accident with us. Hashem is always shielding us from something, and therefore we should always be thanking him. At every moment, do you ever get home at the end of your day? You just drove to work, drove to school, drove to get the kids, went out, went to the store, came back. And do you ever say, thank you Hashem for saving me today? We don't do that.
That's true.
We need to thank Hashem every day for being alive, for not being in a situation that could have caused us harm. I was saying, I mentioned this week, I had I think I went to the pool or something and my ears were blocked. I had some water in my ears. But I didn't know what it was. I had some ringing and my ear had wax. I couldn't hear from my left ear. Couldn't hear at all. And I was hearing myself and it was driving me nuts. I felt unbalanced. They say when your ears are your balance. Literally for 24 hours, I was going crazy. Just from my ears. And I said to myself, and I was worried. I said, oh my God, what if I'm losing my hearing? God forbid. I don't know. I started speaking to some people, friends of mine that had tinnitus and this and that. And they're telling me, yeah, if you hear that ringing, that could be it. And, for a moment, I was like, oh my God, if I have to live the rest of my life with this hearing, I'll go nuts. I can't do this. It's crazy. Something so simple. So then I go to the ear doctor. 5 minutes. Cleans it out, suctions it out, ENT, boom. You're good as new. And it was gone. And it was just earwax. It was not trapped water, whatever it is. But it was a wake-up call, and it reminded me, and I said to myself, oh my God, how did I, I never appreciated my ears so much to have good hearing and not have problems with my ears. So then I started appreciating my legs, my arms, and now I thank Hashem for every moment that I'm a full body that can function and serve people, serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and serve our community. So we have to recap this. When you lie down and sleep at night, you have to say, I rely on Hashem to protect me. And when you wake up at night, you have to say, thank you, Hashem, for supporting me. Knowing that if I rely on Hashem, the moment you rely on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then Hashem has a responsibility to take care of you. You understand? The moment you stop relying on Kadosh Baruch Hu, he loses that responsibility. So we have to have full reliance. And by the way, right now we're entering Rosh Hashanah. I'm shifting to the importance of using words to speak out and make the importance of letting, setting up our year, because Rosh Hashanah is starting now. The importance of communicating with Hashem, doing your what's it called when you're talking to Hashem? Hitbodedut. Okay? It works. So, no joke, 2 days ago, I heard this from someone saying that right now, the few days before Rosh Hashanah, you have the opportunity to ask Hashem exactly how much money you want to make this year. I want $1 billion. Something realistic. You know approximately what you're capable of doing, or go above what you're capable of doing. I said, I'm going to take a step further. I'm going to ask Hashem what I want, and I'm gonna pledge, because the money I've always made to date, I've always paid 10%. I mean, I've calculated 10%. Maybe I've given more because I didn't calculate beyond the 10%. But I said, you know what? I learned this week that it's important to pay, that the next level is 20%. So I said, you know what? Kadosh Baruch Hu, I'll make you a deal. I'm going to give 20%. Forget 10%. I'm doing 20%. And I give a number. Okay? And I gave a number that was closer to my best years that I've had. Okay? And I gave that number. And I already started to plan with Hashem what I'm going to do with the 20%. So, I always repeat this because I love it. Gedalia says it all the time. He says, if you want a deal to come through, write a check to the organization of your choice, write it, sign it, pay the maser from the deal, sign it, write the check, put it in your drawer, tell HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you do the rest. Hashem knows that you've committed already. Before, it's not that maybe you're going to do your maser, maybe you're not. You've already committed to it. So he needs to help our fellow Jews, so he's going to make sure the deal's going to happen. It's the only time that we could test Hashem is with maser. So I said, Hashem, I'm not writing the check, but I'm telling you. I said, because I have multiple, projects that I want to help. Because, some people come, can you help me? I want to build a shul, I want to build kollel, I want to do this, I want to help feed these families. So I made a pledge, 2 pledges. I said, pledge number 1, if I make this much money, I'm giving 20%, and I gave the reasons why. And pledge number 2 that I made earlier this year is that in my I'm trying to build communities, like getting into real estate development. I said with my business, I'm going to pledge that 10% of the housing that I get is going to be for families that can't afford where to live. Just donate, let them stay there. I don't have the homes yet. I don't have the communities built yet. It's in the works, but make it happen. And this is my pledge. So family, because a lot of families can't afford to rent, can't afford to live. So, no joke. The day after I made this pledge of how much I want to make this year, there's a contract that I've been waiting for 2 years. That I've been working on. I received a phone call. We're awarding you the contract. I said, I couldn't believe it. It works. So I said to myself, if it works for me, it works for every one of us. But you have to do it fully. You have to take the time and do it.
Yeah.
Now you might not get a response the next day, but I promise you, if you write down your pledge and you make sure, and you'll look back in 6 months, 8 months, 2 months, whatever it is, and you're going to see that before next Rosh Hashanah, you'll see big nisyonot. Of course, we can ask all we want, and we can request everything we want. We can have the ultimate level of bitachon. But there's a few things that ultimately I know you can have the highest level of bitachon. You can be up here and you can do this much mitzvot. But there's a few things that if you're not doing, tishmor et habrit and tishmor et einayim, to protect your eyes and protect your brit. Those are two things that if you diverge, whatever plan, that you thought you were going through and blessings you're seeing, it'll find itself to shift in the opposite direction, unfortunately. So those are two things that, I know have a direct impact on, the blessings, All right.